top of the dome. Here we go with the opening face-off. Johnny Rachusa for Syracuse, Tyler Dunn for Johns Hopkins. And the Orange win it. Rachusa runs under it. That's a good sign for the Cuse.
When we talked to Coach Gade, he said, let's make some 50-50 ground balls happen at the face-off X. That's exactly what he got there.
Rachusa struggled last week against Duke, and albeit against the guy in Jake Naso, who's one of the best. Landon Clary takes a spill, no call. Field. Now he's limping on Syracuse's sideline. Here's another look at it.
Big check, just gets him right on the leg, and I think it might have tripped him up a bit where he might misstep here.
It's that second one, yeah.
Yeah.
And might have been that same knee that he had struggles with previously.
Already.
That set a Syracuse career high on 66 shots faced in the 14-13 loss in overtime to Duke last weekend. Now something Syracuse really trying to work on is complementary lacrosse. Plays like that leading to offense. Let's see if that happens here. Spallina, Kirsten, Hiltz at attack for Syracuse. Burt Whistle, Simmons, and Thompson at midfield. And the Orange break the scoring.
There we go. That's our player of the game right now, Cole Kirst. He had the short stick matchup like we said. Took advantage.
The Bernardsville, New Jersey native stays hot.
You see him size up as a competition. Nice little rollback to his strong hand. Buries in the low corner. That's a perfect shot.
And look at that, Evan. A short stick matchup for Kirsten. He takes advantage.
Exactly. And that quick release coming out of it. And it's a real boost when someone comes back from an injury and a big player for you and they make a play right away. You know, you have that confidence and it's like, okay, he's back.
Avila is the former freshman All-American from Ward Melville High School on Long Island. Griffin Cook in the game for Syracuse at midfield. He used to play X for this squad. Now kind of using those traits in Pat March's positionless offense. One position they have, though, is X, and that's Joey Spallina. Hiltz gets the angle and scores! Oh, boy, how did he do that? From an acute angle, Owen Hiltz punches it in.
Get Joey Spallina involved early. All eyes are on him. And then you have one of the most prolific goal scorers in the country in Owen Hiltz. Owen Hiltz doesn't need a lot of room. He has the box background. Look at this low angle, able to catch it and get rid of it quickly. He's got such quick hands, strong wrist to get good speed on it. Just a great finish.
Make it a 20-game point streak.
Yeah, it was a tough game for them. Last year was just an up and down year for Syracuse. I think they're going to throw that out and really just focus on this team this year.
This is Degnan with a lefty rip, but it goes wayward. Nice trail check by Dylan Seguider, 42 in white. Looks like he's replaced Landon Clary defensively. It's a series that's been very back and forth, been played for over a century at this point, and a lot of matchups in the postseason as well. Angeles holds near side against Jake Murphy. Inside, one more, and a score! Johns Hopkins needed a response, and Dylan Bauer gets it for him.
It's not going to show up on the stat sheet, but that goal is because of Angeles. He starts it with the short stick matchup. We said that's a mismatch for Kirst. It's definitely a mismatch for Angeles. Good ball movement. Syracuse that time is a little slow on the second slide, and then you have Bauer wide open on the crease. As good as Will Mark is, you can't ask him to save that.
Cramp on the assist.
You don't see it from a lot of teams. And then as we mentioned, you have Melendez getting this short stick matchup that they'll try to take advantage of.
Well, Degnan and Angeles both have histories playing midfield. There's Degnan. He scores! Lefty ripper from 15 yards out. Garrett Degnan evens the game at 2.
I guess this is the opposite of the commentator curse. Kind of exactly what we were just talking about. You have Degnan sweeping up high to his left hand, gets a little help from the pick, and then he pulls it stick side high on Will Mark. Really hard shot from Degnan.
That's the 100th point of Degnan's career with that goal. Now, in a past life. So now the third best man up unit in the NCAA goes to work, and they score! All it takes is 14 seconds for Joey Spallina to find the back of the net, and the Cuse back on top.
You said it, it's one of the most dangerous man-up units in the country. They have great ball movement. Owen Hiltz is the catalyst on this. He has his hands free, he's got great vision, and he's been able to find Spallina on this back pipe all year. Here's another chance for him to find Spallina again, and it's cash.
Folks, you're looking at the man that leads the nation in man-up goals in college lacrosse now. Joey Spallina, his 6th of the year. He's actually tied with Jackson Burntwhistle, his teammate, so now he takes over that.
Just handed it off and put it into some good hands.
I got to ask about those backyard sessions up in Carthage. What were those like, the three of you guys just doing crazy stuff in the backyard?
Oh, that's all we did, man. That's all we did growing up as kids, is just get the ball out there. We played, early on.
Johns Hopkins scores on the man up. There he is again, Garrett Degnan, his 2nd of the game, back even at 3.
We said at the start, he's a Syracuse slayer. He has a big game when Syracuse is playing. And here he is again, scoring another goal. We saw him sweeping up top. This time he gets the inside game going, which I like from him. Nice little lefty catch and finish. Really easy ball movement. Syracuse made that too easy for him.
From my name being Ryan, but also the way that I played the game. Casey and Mike are both extremely athletic, quick, fast, and I was a strong lower body.
Owen Hiltz on the board for Syracuse, off the pipe and in. The Orange back in front.
Syracuse's plan A for pretty much 30 years has been give the ball to 22. We see Spallina facilitating a ton today. Here he is on the dodge, keeping his head up, and he finds 77, Owen Hiltz, that scorer that we talked about. He's able to bury it. He's going to bury that.
Anytime you got number 22 with the ball, he's always got his head up, seeing the field. He's got great vision.
Offensively and really find themselves. It's still very early in the season, and this is really a good game to test yourself and find out who you are.
Peshko spins back to his right at a good angle. This is the bottom right corner. Magic number might be 11 today for Johns Hopkins. Since the start of the 2022 season, the Blue Jays 10-2 in scoring 11 or more goals.
That's the number for every team, you say. Keep them under 10 and you'll win.
Like 70 in basketball.
Yeah.
One-time shot and a score! That's Cameron Chauvette, just his 4th of the season, and it evens the game up at 4.
It's the tale of two quarters for Syracuse's defense. We were praising them for the second slides and covering the middle of the field in the first quarter, and now it's wide open. Not sure if this could be because of Cleary's injury, but we really need to figure out what we're going to do inside if you want to cover up the inside of the field.
Angeles again on
Syracuse. It felt like the field was tilting their direction, and now it feels like it's going towards Hopkins, and you can attribute that to the faceoff X.
That's how it's been the last couple of games. Syracuse might need to make an adjustment there. We've seen Jack Fine take faceoffs this year. He's kind of the backup. Nice split dodge and another goal. The run continues for Johns Hopkins, and it's Russell Melendez putting the Blue Jays in front.
This is a new move for Hopkins, putting Melendez up top. He has that short stick matchup. He's able to break down Rosa here, get to his left hand. Middle of the field is really tough for a goaltender, and he buries that one.
Melendez gets his left hand free, and the Marquette transfer beats Will off the shoulder of Marcel. Are you kidding me?
That's the most fooled he's been so far. Roa pulled that up high, but Marcel was able to get his shoulder on it, but his hands were down. That was a good take.
Yeah, so what'd you see? What fooled him, or what was he fooled by?
It was the overhand release. It's really easy to take that shot and pull it down low. On the run, high to high, is a very difficult shot. It's hard to get speed on it, but Roa has a cannon, so he was able to do it, and that fooled Marcel.
Hiltz to cage, he scores! First half hat trick for Owen Hiltz, and we're even at 5 apiece.
I think Owen Hiltz is really finding himself in this game. We talked about the injury. He's back this year, but this is the real Owen Hiltz. This is what he looked like in his freshman season. You see him taking advantage of this shorty, gets underneath, and then he's got the little leaner, puts his head down. That also fools Marcel to drop his hands, puts it upstairs.
Hiltz having a breakout game for sure.
I mean, you got players out there today doing it, and
right.
That's because of Mike.
20 seconds left in the first half. And he'll score! Joey Spallina to his fellow freshman Finn Thompson. The Cuse with a lead nearing the end of the first half.
This is the future, Syracuse fans. You got 22, Joey Spallina finding Finn Thompson, the crafty finisher. Spallina has that short stick matchup. Every eyeballs on him. He finds Finn Thompson, and the Canadians able to bury that behind the back. These are going to be the two guys for years to come.
But you can't scroll through 11 for 12 for Johns Hopkins, and the same for Syracuse, so that's not a problem today.
Yeah, that's been an issue for Syracuse at times. We talked about complementary lacrosse too. It felt like the worst time Syracuse was blowing it on the clear, and today they're not doing that.
Lefty rip, and it's in! Russell Melendez rifles it past Wilmark to tie the game at 6.
Melendez out of the midfield has been really beneficial for Hopkins. I think they're going to like that move going forward. And right here, he just sort of fools Mark. Again, we're talking about Hopkins taking shots in unexpected places. On the run, a near side hip shot. Mark's leaning to his left, lets his stick go that way a little bit, and he gets caught inside. You can't get...
It's like when you're man down and you got to run it up the field and just get it to the other side of the field. You're going to be expecting some double, some triple teams, and maybe some bruises the next day. You're no stranger to that, though, as a goalie, right? Those bruises.
Yeah, not a fun position if you want to keep your legs clean from bruises.
Collison holds. He's yet to really make an impact today. No points, 3 shots. The Orange done well on him defensively. But they can't stop Melendez. Throw your hats if you're a Johns Hopkins fan. Russell Melendez with 3, and it puts the Blue Jays in front.
You mentioned Collison, he's having a tough day, but he's still commanding so much attention. Look at all the eyes on Syracuse. They're looking at him. They don't want him to get the shot. That opens up Melendez for his 3rd of the day. He makes Mark pay.
Wow. What a move. What an adjustment by the Hopkins. One that's setting a screen from behind. Is that what he did there?
Right,
okay.
Exactly. Someone without the ball, it's unnecessary contact.
So Johns Hopkins back on the man up once again. Game even at 7 apiece. Inside for Peshko. Couldn't handle the pass. The Orange with numbers on the ground ball, and they win it. Safely back with Mark. Now, Mike, you passed both Casey and Ryan for career points here at Syracuse. That's a penalty coming in there. What did it feel like to pass your brothers? Oh, wait, we'll get into that in just a second. We got a fight going on the field now. You know the stakes of this rivalry. Both teams need a win. Heated game. Bodies flying everywhere. Matt Collison, his first taste of this rivalry, but not afraid to use some words.
And he's still chirping. Let's see. Rosa looks for contact when he's bringing the ball up a lot of the times, and he gets it right there. And then Hopkins just wailing at him. You see Melendez. Rosa doesn't have the ball. He's not going to stand for that, especially against a Hopkins player. You see Collison is starting to jaw.
Unreal. I mean, he's the best to ever play. And to see him up close and personal in practice and...
Leo scores!
Somebody figured out the shooting, John.
Michael Leo puts it in his strong left hand and puts the Orange on top 8-7.
We've highlighted Leo as an elite dodger, potentially one of the best on this Syracuse roster. He's quick, and then he's got the speed to break away. You see him here, sizes up his matchups, got a long pull on him. He doesn't care. Plants it in the ground, has a nice little shot as he's rolling away, and he beats Marcille.
Where's your goalie stick, Evan? What is this?
That's when I used to have fun playing.
So you're saying playing goalie wasn't fun?
I mean, you can ask anybody. It's not the most fun, but it's rewarding when you're playing well.
Well, nobody's going to want to play goalie after hearing that. 3-on-3 battle for the loose ball. Johns Hopkins wins it. To Angeles down the alley. He scores! Jacob Angeles scoops it in right off the face-off.
This is how the face-off can really impact momentum. We talked about just winning the battles, getting you the possessions. Here we see it create instant offense. The pass to Angeles, easy score on Mark. He's got no chance, and now we're knotted up.
Angeles with
clean.
And that's the last thing you want to do if you're Coach Milliman against this man-up unit for Syracuse. But the Orange have made some mistakes that have hindered their ability to take advantage. Thompson, no look, and a goal! Michael Leo creeping from X, takes the feed from Thompson and finds the bottom corner.
Smooth Finn Thompson. He has had some game with some electrifying plays. Right here we got the no-look pass down to Leo, and I love this from Leo. This is not his strength, but he's able to make a pretty hard catch there, turn around and bury it on the goalkeeper. We've seen Marcel make those saves, but he doesn't make it on Leo. So big goal for the freshman, and Finn Thompson continues to dazzle.
For 7 in the first stretch of the season was Johns Hopkins. From there went 8 for 11. But today, Syracuse's penalty kill unit done a great job, and it's a unit that really was struggling all of last year.
Yeah, and you can't really put your finger on it. They're doing the right things, they're just not finding the back of the net.
Collison scores! Waiting all day to hear from Matt Collison, and the true freshman knots the game up at 9.
And he's fired up. and you knew he wasn't going to stay quiet the whole day. He's too big of a player, too good of a player. You have him driving hard to the net to that strong left hand. He's a big body. Here's the closeout, keeps it in, little pump fake, pay dirt. Hopkins gets a big goal from Collison, ties it up. Invert here from Hopkins, trying to get a short stick matchup behind the goal.
That's Ryan Evans. Said back-to-back multi-point games. Now with Melendez, he's had the hot hand today.
And Syracuse is refusing to switch on him, off him on those picks, right? They're getting through, they're making sure the pull's always on him.
Angeles uses a screen. Back to Evans. Beats Rice, gets to the cage, and bounces it in!
What a move from Evans.
Ryan Evans, one-on-one, he wins and puts Johns Hopkins in front.
Hopkins is parking their offensive middies behind the cage to try to get an advantage dodging. This is a great little 1-2 move on Carter Rice. Gets underneath, will mark a little out of position, and Evans buries it.
Channeling his pick number 11 before. Johns Hopkins 10-2 since the start of the 2022 season. Not there quite yet, but still in the lead and one goal away from that 11.
Syracuse should slow this down here. Get a good look. Don't rush.
Invert behind, and the cross of Griffin Cook. Former Syracuse attacker turned midfielder. Back up to the point. 30 seconds on the shot clock for the Orange. Back behind with Spallino. Now Kirst, you love this if you're Gary Gait. To Burt Whistle, righty shot, stopped. Tim Marcille with another save, give him 21 on the day.
And Jackson Burtwistle's been quiet today, but he's one of Syracuse's best shooters.
And Hobart on deck, trying to snap an 8-game losing streak against ranked opponents and take down their bitter rival. Alexo misses an over-the-head check. Angeles keeps it. Free run to Cage, and he zips it off the pipe.
That was risky from the Syracuse defense. The shot clock's a friend. You have Sam Alexo trying to take the ball away near midfield. That's going to open up the field, but pipe bails him out again.
The Orange gamble, but win. Thompson takes a big check from Collison. No call.
What a handle from Finn Thompson. Believe it or not, that might be the play of the day.
Those two actually played in high school together as well, so no stranger to that collision. Syracuse calls a timeout and now sets up perhaps its biggest offensive possession of the season. That's lacrosse at its finest right there. Bodies flying, checks being thrown, hips put into one another. Awesome, and here's another look at Jacob Angeles' run to goal.
Yeah, Alexo was caught being really aggressive. You don't want Angeles here. And then, again, we talked about subbing near the box. Ooh. There's a lot of bodies there. I'm not sure why Syracuse keeps going back there.
Buckle in. Leo holds. He scored 2 goals today. Gives off to a fellow lefty in Hiltz. The Orange with plenty of time to work with. Who do you want touching the ball here, Evan?
It's tough. Leo has a short stick matchup. Uh-oh. Giveaway there.
Kirst tried to find Thompson in the middle, taken away by Jaronsky. Now the Blue Jays try to clear. And tick, tick, tick.
Shot clock's a non-factor here, so Syracuse is going to have to pressure.
Open run. Patrick Deans. He scores!
And there's the Hopkins transition. We talked about it all day. They couldn't find the goal when running the ball. They finally do there. To put an exclamation point, tie a bow on this game, it looks like. We'll see if Syracuse can spark some magic, but you think that's the nail in the coffin for the Blue Jays.
A pole goal is the dagger, the second of the season for Patrick Deans. Perhaps none bigger than that one. In a battle between the two winningest programs in college lacrosse history, Johns Hopkins stands alone at number 1, and they reign supreme today inside the Dome. The Blue Jays top the Orange 11-9 in a Saturday showdown.
Great game for both teams. Hopkins rights the ship. They're back in the win column, the number 10 team in the country. They'll see if they can build on this. And for Syracuse, it's not back to the drawing board. You're learning every game. I loved what I saw from the young players. Keep building, and good things will come.
So the Blue Jays